Hello everyone, it's Miss Payton here, and the book that I have decided to talk about for World Book Day is called In His Own Words by John Lennon. So the book itself is lots of short stories, poems and illustrations by John Lennon. If you don't know who John Lennon is, then he was one of the lead singers in the famous band The Beatles. So with that in mind, one of the reasons that I love this book so much is because it's got references to some really famous songs that the Beatles have done. None of the content which is in the book was ever meant to be published. So when John Lennon was writing the short stories, the poems and drawing the pictures, he never knew that anyone else would ever see them. So it's kind of probably one of the fundamental reasons why I love this book, because it's like a raw insight into his mind and his thought process at the time when he was producing some amazing songs and creating these kind of really out there lyrics. So there's lots of kind of doodles like this within the book. And also one of the really good things about the book is like they make up lyrics or they make up words, or they'll intentionally misspell words, which is always quite interesting and was typical of sort of John Lennon when he was doing interviews as well, just saying really outrageous things just for the sake of it. Another reason why I love the book is because it actually got me into, there's the Beatles, just in case you were wondering what they look like. Another one of the reasons that I love this book is because it got me into kind of like a whole new realm of books. So once I received this book, because I got it when I was quite young, it was gifted to me, one of my friends gave it to me, just because I'm a massive fan of the Beatles. But when I received it, it kind of opened up a whole new world of books for me, because books became more about research and understanding where an artist, like where their mindset is when they create certain work. So it then got me into books like Paul Smith's Cycling Scrapbook. He is a massive fan of cycling. So it's really interesting just looking at how his love of cycling has actually influenced the designs that he does. Or Grayson Perry, how he has kind of changed the trajectory of like the trans world. And also books like Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, that was difficult to say, which was then illustrated by a really famous artist that I love called Yayoi Kusama. So she has a fascination with polka dots. An interesting fact is actually she has an apartment in New York, and her apartment is actually completely head to toe polka dot. If you Google image it, like it's quite, it will give you a bit of a headache looking at it. But she's obsessed with polka dots because she said that as a child she used to get very bad hallucinogenic kind of experiences, and that all the polka dots reminded her of that. So looking at Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, there's lots of like kind of kooky polka dot drawings that Yayui's kind of changed and just shown that she's kind of put her artistic stamp on that, and I find that really impressive. So yeah, essentially reading this book for me, not only did it give me a bit more information and a better understanding of the Beatles and John Lennon, but also it just opened up a whole new realm of kind of art books, and trying to understand like where artists think and where their mindset is when they create some of their best work. So for me, that's really inspired me. And yeah, if you do ever want to talk about artist books, then feel free just to send me an email.